Life is so much better when you have friends to connect and kiki with. And no matter how near or far you are, thank God for things like WhatsApp to always keep you together. And in this friendship, all day and all night, we send each other long as voice notes.
Every day we discuss just about everything, from what we had for dinner, to the music we like, to the men we met, to exercise, and don't forget our absolute favorite thing, insecure. So sit back and relax as these two girls tell you everything about life, love, and all things in between. Welcome to Long AF Voice Notes.
Hello, and welcome back to yet another episode of
Long AF Voice Notes.
If you have stayed with us to this time, listen, we're now cousins, family, best friends. We appreciate the love and support, the feedback of all of you. And my name is Martinique Lewis, also known as Marty_San Diego across social platforms. And I'm here with my beautiful co-host,
Sarita Braxton, and Sarita Braxton on all social media.
Yes. And so we're just going to jump right into it, you guys. And then there was two. We are almost to the end of Insecure. And this one, boy, this one. Sarita, what grade do you give it? What grade do you give it?
I'm going to have to give it a B. I'm going to have to go ahead and downgrade from last week's episode. I just feel like I wasn't satisfied with the way that the show ended. But I did there were some really great moments in the show, so I don't want to take away from those. What about you? What would you give it?
I definitely feel everything you're saying. I definitely give it a B too. I just remember like my face being so distraught when I looked over and I saw that it was 7:30 and I realized that was the end. And I was like, no, like, wait, what? And I'm like, they always keep us freaking hanging. I just thought about it. I haven't even watched the trailer for next episode. I should though, just to kind of see what did it look like.
So ominous. Like it didn't really give you a lot. There were just like flashes of Issa's face and Molly's face. Like literally like some kind of Star Wars film. You don't know what's coming. So it wasn't really helpful to see like what's actually coming in the last episode of the season.
Damn. All right, well let's jump straight into it. Relationships. Which relationship, though, do we want to start with? I hope we start with my favorite, Lawrence and Issa.
Girl, I thought you were going to say Nathan, because...
That. No, ma'am.
Okay. Yes. Well, no, actually, I want to get your thoughts first, because I like your comments about how the show always pulls us in and then snaps us back to reality, but this time
it didn't. And I was so on edge because I was like, oh my God, why would you guys do this? Why would you guys show us both of them having sex over here? It's like, do you want it on the floor? Do you want it on the chair? Do you want it over here? Do you want it and it was really like that. And I was like, she's about to snap out of it. Like, they're about to tell us that it didn't work out, but Issa wanted it to work out. And I just was like, I hate y'all. But then I realized that it was real. And I was like, oh my God. I was like, this is amazing. And I was like, and they're having sex with her hair tied up. And I was like, because that's how Black folks have sex. Like, period. If we got our hair, our wigs, we tying it up. Period.
I'm so tired of having to be in the positions where you got to protect your hair. No, exactly. We wrap it up at night. Don't ask me what is this. You already know.
Exactly. True story. One time I was having intercourse and my wig fell off and it was hilarious. And this is very graphic. So if my mother ever hears this or my grandmother, I'm really sorry. But the way he had me positioned was like, I was hanging off the bed. So I was head first and it just fell. And I was like, what? And I was like, wait. And he's like, what? And it was dark, but I was like, no. And after that, I was like, I will never wear wigs that aren't sewn in again.
Wow.
Yeah. It was great. It was interesting.
Girl, I'm trying to think, like, have I ever had something? I don't think so. Thank goodness. No. All the hair, all the extensions have stayed intact.
Girl, I'm like, But yeah, I appreciated that first scene, and it was just real. And I loved how they were just into each other. Like, yes, we can sit here and do work together. Yes, we can eat together. Yes, we can laugh, and then it can lead to sex. And yes, we're gonna have sex and good sex. And it just made me feel some type of way, because in my opinion, that's only a connection that they can share with each other. And part of it is like, because they already know each other. It's like, oh my God, I don't have to relearn somebody all over again. Like, I could just skip to third base. Like, great. You know what I mean? It just is like perfect. I don't have to go through all the bullshit. But what did you think?
I really love how comfortable they are with each other. I unfortunately have never experienced this level of comfort, but they just fit, especially like the banter that they have. They keep it going. You know how sometimes you make a joke and it doesn't land? Like, they pick up everything that the other person says. They keep it going throughout the conversation, and I just love them together. I loved the chocolatey skin on skin, just arms, legs, ass. Hey. I love seeing them together. And like you said, it's only this level of comfort that they have with each other.
Yeah. What did you feel like when she was like, so what exactly is this? Like, to me, I was just like, it just made me feel some type of way, because I remember having this conversation 4 years ago with this guy who I was dating. And he was like, why would you ever think we were anything when we haven't discussed it? And like, in my head, you know, in middle school and high school, even in college, like, you go with somebody, y'all don't have to discuss it. But like in real life, you do have to discuss it. So I was just nervous about that moment, but I love that he was like, well, what do you want it to be? And I'm like, whoa, like, okay, they're there. Like, they are there. And that was just like, wow.
They've seriously grown so much since the first season individually. And I think it's great they've grown separately and then have come back together and are using these tools to navigate their relationship. But I know how nice it can be to just go with the flow. And then when you try and put a name on it, that makes it weird, because then it's almost like you are putting expectations as well on the relationship, on the other person. But I think he handled it really well. And sometimes you do want to know, like, is this just fun? Is it, you know, like, so you know how many feelings to catch, basically. Like, how in my feelings should I be right now? I love how she name dropped. Well, actually, she didn't even name drop Condola. He brought Condola up, which gave her the window. Yeah. Like, oh, well, since you brought her up, what's up with y'all?
Right.
So they got that out of the way.
Yeah. And that needed to happen. Like, sometimes as females, we just need to hear certain things. Like, just say it so that we don't have to create the scenarios in our head. But yeah, I thought that was really, really interesting, which also brings me to my next point about relationships, that like, I love that Issa told him about Nathan, just because I feel like you should just be very upfront, because when you're not, it leaves the other person to create a bunch of scenarios that are probably not even true and could be the demise of your relationship. Because at the end of the day, after you hit a certain age, you are adult enough to still be friends with somebody that you had sex with. Like, just because you're not dating anymore, you're not physically together, doesn't mean you don't think that person is a cool person. And as adults, we vibe off of energy. So like, I think that is realistic to know that when you're in relationships, and I would say 7 out of 10 times, when your partner has a friend that's the opposite sex, more than likely they dated them, and you just need to be okay with that. But like, I love that he didn't show like any jealousy. Like, he was just like, okay, like, whatever, you know. And I think men are so much easier with that than females, because we'd be like, oh no, fuck no. Like, well, did you love her? You know what I mean? Like, did she buy you a birthday gift? Did she meet your mom? Like, you know, like,
girl, like, I just saw this photo today, and it's like, women be like, and there's a photo of a protest and an arrow. Who is this girl that you're with? Like, girl, stop.
That's
like,
because that's how we be.
We're curious beings. We want to know, who is she to you? Who was she to you? And like, should I be concerned? Because you just never know. address these things head on. So like you said, the other person doesn't create this narrative in their mind and it drives them crazy and drives them to do crazy things.
Right. And Issa was like, I want to be honest from the start. And I just was like, thank you. Like, okay. So yeah. Anything else on them two?
Well, I mean, Lawrence was in San Fran. He was in what do y'all call it? The Cisco.
The Cisco. The city. The Cisco. I love that. It's just called the city, you know.
But he was there for his interview, which went well, and also Issa's reaction, which I don't know. I feel like I could see a little bit of disappointment in her eyes, but she handled it really well. She's again like still supportive of him getting this opportunity to make a better way for himself. So
yeah, and I think that's big that they're both in their prospective places, but they're not trying to keep the other one back because of the other person. I think that happens in a relationship a lot. And if somebody does do that, then they always have a lot of resentment. Like, you never allowed me to, you never allowed me to advance like I wanted to because I stayed back for you. You know, it's always something that people will hold over your head. If one person moves to the other person's hometown, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's always something. So I'm glad that they aren't affected by each other, but I also pray, even though this is not a real show, but I do pray that they just end up working out, that the odds forever work in their favor, like, period. Yeah. So yeah.
Oh, well, we have one episode left to find out.
No, I know.
Yeah.
Mm-mm. Well, Molly and Andrew.
Girl.
He was like,
Molly. Molly and Andrew. Molly's like a steamroller. Like, she comes into the room and she says Issa's selfish, but she comes in and she just like lays her issues out onto Andrew, like, oh, I saw Issa today. You always have an attitude about something. Right. And I feel like in their relationship, he is a bit of an enabler. He like baby checks her. Like, what if you could possibly have done something slightly different? It's like, speak with your big man voice, like he doesn't ever hit her head on, like, actually, maybe you could see this in a different way. He did it with Issa. It's Issa's fault. Issa needs to come to me and apologize. I'm doing all of this work. She does it with his brother. Girl, but I love the scene where because this was us last week, where the therapist was like, what's their brother's name? She's like, who cares? And we were just saying the same thing, like, what's his name? Nobody needs to know that. But Victor, with the whole situation with her not wanting to go to the game and she just wants to be miserable, I feel like. And I'm curious to see how this fares for her relationship if things like this keep.
Yeah, I totally agree. I want Andrew to be more assertive with her, and I think he's not, maybe because he's still trying to learn her, but I'm like, no, eventually you're going to have to call her out on her ish because she is just too much and it's not okay. And I think regardless of how you feel about people, like, eventually, because they are getting more and more serious, you will have to be around his brother. His brother cannot not show up to y'all wedding. You know what I mean? He cannot be there when y'all have y'all first kid. So, like, you need to be able to get through that. But I feel like we've seen Molly in so many instances, she has the ability to just cut people off. Like, and not think twice about it. Like, she's just going to cut you off, or she's just going to ignore you, or she's just going to avoid you. And that's not okay. Like, it's something she needs to get through. But I just think, I wish Andrew would be like, this is my brother. Yeah. I didn't ask for him to be my brother, but I did choose for you to be my girlfriend. So right now, like, you have to make it work because I can't give him back. This is my family member, And I just am always like, girl, you just, like, are you trying to run this man away? Because I'd be like, if you are not down with my brother and my sister, regardless, like, it's just not gonna work because they're gonna be my brother and my sister forever. You know what I mean? Like, it's crazy. Like, so I really hope eventually he tells her, like, you need to get a grip and you and my brother can have a conversation, but that is my brother. You know what I mean? Like, you're gonna be around them. So
you can't be petty forever.
no. No. Any other relationships that happened? Nah, friendships. Let's go into friendship. Friendship. What are you thinking? What are you thinking?
You know, my favorite friendship of all, light skin Bay and Issa, the best of friends, Nathan and Issa. I like their budding friendship. I think they're cute. They also have this little banter, even though sometimes Issa's awkward as hell. When she was walking up and she was trying to figure out what to say, and then she decides on my nigga, like, girl.
And then she's like, she like is trying to like go under him. I'm like, girl, I can't.
So awkward, but I love it so much because it's just so real. You're in this situation with this guy, and you don't know if you should tell him you're seeing your ex, but you don't want to make him feel weird. Girl, it was so funny. But yeah, I love their budding friendship. I also like them at game night. It seems like even though he was trying to make his move, shoot his shot while she was helping him move, he took the news that she was back with her ex moderately well. I mean, he was still throwing some shade, but I feel like that's just a knee-jerk reaction, like, oh, he's a bum. Even though he really didn't know the full story. And he was also throwing shade at Issa. Oh, the one you cheated on? I'm like, oh, ouch. But they also had a conversation about his mental health, which I appreciated them highlighting, destigmatizing mental health issues, because in the Black community, we really don't talk about it. We don't address it. In the episode, Molly is going to therapy as well, and Nathan talks about his bipolar diagnosis. So I really like them. I think they did a good job of bringing that and destigmatizing just self-care. Self-care is not only yoga and weed. It can also be, mental health care.
You know what I just thought about because you said that? I wonder if Molly is bipolar.
Oh.
She could be, because girl, I don't know. I'm probably thinking too much in it. But I definitely agree with you. Their friendship is interesting. But again, like, I was mad at him because I was like, you got your nerve talking about Lawrence, because I'm all of a sudden team Lawrence. Don't be coming for him. And I was like, and you can't even communicate. And then Issa said, and I was like, okay. And then he was like, well, actually. And I was like, oh. But it was a special moment because he trusts Issa enough to tell her that, and he hadn't told anybody. Like, the only person who knew was Andrew, So I was like, he really values Issa. And then him saying that, I was like, okay. Well, you can also tell that Issa respects boundaries because she immediately told him about Lawrence. So I was just like, good for her, because now, exactly, because this could have been a Daniel part 2, and we wasn't having that, okay? So Issa is learning. She's growing. She's trying to correct what she got wrong the last time. And I can appreciate that. But yeah, that scene was powerful. And then, them playing at game night, now that you mention it, like, they have like a good, whatchamacallit, with each other. But I don't feel like Issa is completely over the situation. But so in my head, I'm always like, should you be there? Because it possibly be easy for y'all to still spark something, because I don't think your feelings ever went away because of how that ended, just like your feelings never went away from Lawrence because of how that ended, so that just makes me like, I don't know, I don't know. Okay, any other friendships that we want to talk about?
Well, I mean, Andrew and Nathan friendships, the original roomies, are now parting ways. Right. They didn't talk about why, per se.
Weird.
Just all of a sudden Nathan has his own place and you're like, oh, cool. I mean, I thought it was weird that they were still roommates anyway, but I guess, they're building their own separate lives. Andrew has a girlfriend, and so maybe they wanted to give each other the privacy they needed. But yeah, I mean, they also, in the group, I think the banter between the four of them, it could have been so nice, right? Like, the four of them hanging out just seems like a good time. They get along with each other. And then, speaking of friendship, somebody had to ruin it with a text.
I just was like, why? Why was that text even necessary? Like, you didn't even need to send that. You could have waited till she left to even say that. And I'm just like, I felt for Issa right then, because I just was like, I've had that happen to me before when one of my friends was talking about me to my other friend, and we were all in the same car, and she thought she was sending it to her. So at the moment, I was like, oh, you didn't send that to Noelle, you sent that to me. And then it was just quiet and awkward. Just quiet and awkward. And I just was like,
yeah.
You didn't even need to send it. It's something that could have waited, you know? It's something that could have waited. I just...
you could have had a conversation when they left or something. Like, she's always trying to prove how hard she's working and how much effort she's making when she's literally sitting on the floor doing the bare minimum. Like, and the whole time she's giving her the side eye. Like, she really obviously doesn't want them to stay, but like, Andrew's so nice. He's like, no, guys, stay for dinner. Like, I got drinks. Let's pop bottles. And then you got Molly with the stank face the whole time.
Right. And it's not as if this was the first time you saw her, Molly. Like, she invited you out. She casted. She extended the olive branch. You came. You were mad awkward at the thing. And she was obviously trying. You could tell that she's trying. It's like, if that is really your best friend, regardless of what you guys go through, you still rock with that person. You're still going to be happy about that person or you seeing that person. So for her to even act like that, then I just was like, girl, like, you know, and I do think that they should have addressed the situation and maybe not there. You know what I mean? Like, maybe that was just like, okay, well, when can we talk about it? Like, I wish they kind of did address that, but I just feel like Issa gave 100% and Molly gave 50. And I really hated that because we see that part where Issa's going through everybody to talk to, and it was a fake scene. This was the actual fake scene of the whatchamacallit, but when Molly like went off on her, but like she still considers Molly a friend. I don't know if Molly still considers her a friend. And it just is like, I don't know, because it's almost like, Molly, what do you want? Like, what do you want? And even for Molly to say that bullshit at the end, like, well, maybe I've grown past. Like, no, Issa has obviously grown, like, past your expectations too. So, like, how dare you? And then when she says, okay, you have the nerve to get mad, she's fucking tired of you, bro. We're all tired of you. I am no longer Team Molly. Like,
does she have any Team Molly members left? I don't think so at this point. But you're right. Like, how do you go from sitting in therapy with your enabling therapist and say, like, Issa's my best friend. They've been through so much together. Even, you know, you can just tell prior to season one, like, they had a history. It's not like they just met and built this friendship over the last year. Like, they are friends. And for you to be so petty, negative, nasty, not classy, you know, definitely ratchet, bougie, ratchet, sassy. I'm sorry. And and you go from she's my best friend to she's wrong. She needs to apologize. I'm doing all this work. I'm putting in all this. You're doing literally nothing. You showed up to brunch. You could see she had an attitude, and she's one of those people who loves to like live in an attitude, right? Like, you wear it like a badge of honor that I have an attitude and I have an issue with you, but I'm not going to address it. I'm just going to make the situation really uncomfortable. And then, like you said at the end, like, it's not like Issa has turned into a negative person or has done something like so terrible, or she's like, you know, like become this toxic friend. Like, she's actually bettering herself professionally, personally. And as her best friend, quote unquote, you can't be happy for her growth. And you say, like, oh, maybe we've outgrown each other. Like, then you're not a real friend. Like, what kind of friend is this? If you have friends like Molly, you don't really need friends.
Agreed. She's just never satisfied. And if anybody is still Team Molly, it's because you petty and you don't know how to deal with the situations you're in. Scary. Ed. You know, I just that I was like, effer. I was like, effer. And even when her therapist was like, do you want to be in a relationship or right? And I was like, who knows with her? She wanted all. She wants everything. She wants everybody to just like bow down to her. And it's like, no, that's not how the world works. You are the problem. You are the common denominator, sweetheart. Like you.
Yeah.
But
remember, and I was thinking when Issa said, like, if your relationship with Andrew doesn't work out, it's not going to be because of me, you know, because Molly is she is negative. And it seems like she gets a kick out of being negative. So I'm interested also to see, like, she's had this fallout with Issa, with Andrew's brother, with the guy at her job, with like so many different people. Like, how is this going to seep into her relationship? Because she wants to be happy. She wants to be in a relationship, but she can't properly address her own issues.
Yeah. And once again, she's the common denominator. Nobody else. I mean, it's like, nope. But yeah, other ships. I'm getting mad.
Other shit. Well, when Issa was going down the phone log, she called Kelly, and Kelly with an I and Tiffany have been AWOL most of the season, since the block party almost. That's an interesting take. But then she called her brother, who you get what you paid for.
And I love that. Siblings is gonna be ready to kick somebody's ass if they hurt you, but at the same time they like, I don't give a fuck. What you do? I'm eating. Yeah. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I love that too, because that's really like, siblings are friends you don't want, that you have to have because you share the same genetics. You know what I mean? Like, they're gonna tell you the truth, they're gonna laugh with you, they're gonna joke with you, and they're gonna hate you all at the same time. Like, that's just that. So I appreciated that moment. I did. I appreciated it.
That's cute. And the assistant, which she's so funny with the Legos in her purse with hand warmers. Like, is she a genius or is she a genius? Like, our lives changed forever now.
At that moment. How did you keep them warm? I got hand warmers. I said, nah, with your ego. I said, what? I said, why have we never thought of this?
Why
have we never thought of this?
No, she said it's like an easy bake oven in here. I said, wow. Like, she is the supporting character that we all need.
Yes. The therapist, womp womp. Who is this therapist? I want to see her license, because I'm trying to figure out how she got to be who she is, because the therapist ain't there to be like, yes, absolutely. No, the therapist needs to call you out on your shit.
Yes. Molly is surrounded by enablers. Or maybe Molly pushes away everyone who's not an enabler. Like, when you call her on her shit, you're out of here.
Maybe that lady just needs to be paid.
Yeah, but the therapist was pure trash. She was nice. She was a nice, lovely older lady, but she was not effective in her advice or counsel
at all. It was like, ma'am, excuse me, what is happening? What is happening?
Why don't you see what we see?
Exactly. And we know that Issa is planning another event. I wonder what it's gonna be.
Yes, girl. Get you one of them stationary bikes. She's like, I gotta learn how to ride a bike. Oh, they don't move. Girl, she is hilarious. Like, her one-liners are amazing.
And I loved all of the fashion from this episode. It was so cute. Everything was so cute. But can we please talk about how Lawrence be looking like a zaddy all of a sudden? Because he was never cute to me. But now I'm like, wait a minute. Hello? When did you get killed?
Girl, remember season 1? He had a little bit of extra weight. My friend calls it like a layer of fat on him. He had wasn't really focused so much on the fresh cut, and now he got him a fresh shape up. The beard is trimmed. He's trimmed. Girl, I was looking on social media about these before and after quarantine photos, and the dude in the beginning looked like, girl, like Donald Glover, and then the actor is like a snack. And the shape up can make or break whether or not you
can it. They trim the beard. You got the fade, right? You be like, because he was looking real snackish. I was like, okay, Lawrence.
Yeah.
And I love what you said before, that we're gonna send our condolences to Condola because she is out the door. Bye, girlfriend. Bye. Exactly. Thanks for coming. Don't let the door hit you.
Yeah.
On your way out. I'm glad that she's out of the picture.
There were rumors that for some reason people thought she was pregnant with Lawrence's baby. I don't really know why, but do you feel like this is going to be a Mari situation in episode 10 when you are the daddy?
If they throw that in there after she said she didn't want kids, Lord, maybe that's why they did that. I hope that's not the case, because ain't nobody got time for that.
No, we don't. We don't need this messing up our storyline of Issa and Lawrence.
Exactly. We don't want that narrative. So I hope they throw that shit all the way out. No, thank you. No, thank you. Oh God, that was really like, ew. That would really turn me. Ugh, I would be so upset. And if you guys didn't know, Kerry Washington did produce that episode. I think she did a good job. I don't remember ever seeing Kerry Washington on the other side. So yeah, I'm glad that
she's
Issa,
a director now.
I didn't know that. I have never seen anything she directed. Do you know she directed?
Yeah, because I follow her on social media. I think she directed the play, American Son. Then she did a Netflix film.
Oh, okay, yeah. I know that Son was out. I didn't know she directed that. Okay, go ahead, Kerry Washington. We see you out here, and I love that Issa,
all the hats.
Yeah, and Issa puts people on, and I like that. And just for people to know, Issa is short for her full name, and so that's why I need to probably start calling her by her full name, so I stop saying Lisa, because Lisa's just so close to Issa. But yeah.
Well, tell us, what's the full name? Because I actually didn't know.
I don't remember off the top of my head. Something. It's an African name.
Okay. Cute.
I don't remember off the top of my head. I used to know it, but I don't know no more at this moment. But let me see. Typing in Issa Rae's real name.
Google is your friend.
Yes, I should have told Alexa. Joy Issa.
Oh, cute, Joy Issa. I'm here for it.
Yeah, Joy Issa Rae Diop. So yeah.
Wow, that's a beautiful name. I mean,
it
Issa
is
Rae is cute as well, but Joy Issa is lovely.
Right. She took the second and third and brought it together.
Okay, so what are we thinking? Because usually we predict the future when it comes to this episode, clearly because it's based on a true story, which is your life. And so what do we see for the season finale, episode 10, season 4 of Insecure?
About the friendship, I don't know. I really don't know. About Lawrence and Issa, I just think they will find a way to make it work. And I think some opportunity might happen for Issa that ends up being in the Bay where she will have to move. But I think the stars will align for them if that's what they want. Molly, I don't know. I don't know how much more he can take. And like, dudes try, and I feel like Andrew's trying, but I don't know. But that's all. That's the only predictions I got. What you got?
I'm curious. I'm really interested about this job opportunity. I feel like Lawrence, if it does come through, Lawrence is gonna take it. He's gonna go. And I don't know, will they do long distance? Will they decide maybe it's not the right time? I mean, it's not that far, right? So it's possible they can do it. But I think that they are such well-rounded individuals now in their own right. It's not going to be a situation where it's like, oh, I'm going to chase after you. You know, it's like, okay, we have our lives. Let's make it work. I think Nathan is still going to keep trying. I did see that in the preview. So Nathan is not giving up. He is a little engine that could, and he is trying to put his name on the ballot of Issa's heart. And yeah, I feel like Molly is gonna be miserable Molly. Is that a new? Can we just call her that now? Miserable.
We can. Miserable Molly, and we send our condolences to Condola. But see, also, this is when we have to realize some people we just have to let go. If they don't respect your current relationship, let their ass go, because they should be able to respect you. So,
yeah,
Nathan, get your life.
No, girl, why you get called Nathan? Like, you always hate on light skin, babe.
Because he needs to get his shit together.
Girl, he is. He's trying, girl. He's buying himself a little barbershop. He got part of a barbershop quartet, and he is doing his thing.
He needs to go ahead. Bye. Bye. Light eyes. Bye. 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 But can I tell you that in real life, I appreciate him being on the front lines during the protest. Yeah. Have you seen that? And I'm like, good for you. Like, good for you. And he don't have to be making no speech or nothing. Like, he's like, nah, I'm gonna be here with the people. And I'm like, good. I appreciate that. Cause I'm like, oh, you real for real. You like, you real. Like, good. But yeah. Okay. Well, tell them where they can find us across all social platforms.
On Instagram, Long AF Voice Notes. On Twitter, Long AF Voice Notes. And you can also watch us on YouTube. The reactions are the cherry on top of the ice cream cone that you need for this hot girl summer.
Hey.
And you can listen to the audio on all places where podcasts live.
Yes. So as always, thank you guys for joining us. Peace.
Bye.